What up, gang? Welcome back to the channel. Yes, I am wearing the same shirt as the last video. I did wash it, so don't worry. I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of work on the Prelude today. I'm not really sure exactly what I'm doing. I know for starters, I already adjusted the rear camber, so I maxed it out on the stock upper control arms. So it's max negative camber right now in the rear. And I'm gonna go ahead and do that in the front and hopefully solve a little bit of the rubbing issue. So I don't know if you can tell too much, but it shows a little bit more tire tread in the front right now than the rear. So the rear, you can almost not see any tire tread. And I think because this is maxed out on camber, my only option is gonna be to pull this fender out just a little bit, just so we can kind of clear this little line here. I would say it probably needs to come out to about there. So that should fix the rear. The front, I'm hoping the camber will fix most of that. And if we need to pull it, we can do that too. Here's that wheel stud that I broke off. These ones were okay. I have a feeling I'm gonna have to end up replacing this one pretty soon because the threads are starting to not look so great, but this is the brand new one. Real pain in the ass to put these in, but I was able to get it in without having to take off the entire hub and unconnecting all the suspension components. This is what we're working on today though. So this part right here, where you can see the ball joint, the upper ball joint has these two bolts that go in, and this is the upper control arm. So if I undo this bolt and undo this bolt, we should get a little bit of play kind of back and forth, which will adjust the camber a little bit. So I'm gonna go ahead, I think these are 17 mils. I'm gonna go ahead and unloosen both of them and we'll see what kind of camber results we can get. All right, these actually weren't that tight. Well, they were tight enough, but they weren't that hard to break loose. So this front one is pretty much loose. This back one is broken loose. So if I go ahead and just start loosening it up more, now we should see some play in this. So if I grab this part here, yeah, see that play, and in fact the camber was not even maxed out, so that's good news. It was actually closer to maxed out positive. But if you push it back like that, now you're maxed out negative. So if you can look here, I don't know how well the camera will pick that up, but negative camber, positive camber. Yeah, it's really hard to get that to pick up, but let me try this angle. Negative camber, positive camber, negative, positive. So with the upper control arm, they have slots that are big enough for the holes, or they have holes that are big enough for the bolts, but they slotted them a little bit longer, so you have a little bit of stock play in the upper control arms. That goes for the front and the rear. So if you just loosen up the two 17 mils and then grab this piece here, you can play with the camber. Again, if you push it all the way in, that is maxed out camber on the negative side. Pulling it out is going to give you more positive camber. So all that's left to do now is push it to the negative side, retighten those bolts, put the wheel back on, and that is it. So hopefully we get some good results from that. All right, boys, so I just put her down. That's how it looks. Definitely still a lot of poke going on, and I think it did suck it in maybe just a little bit. If anything, it actually corrected the toe. Right now the wheel's straight, and before my wheel here was going kind of pointing this way, and this wheel is still doing that. As you can tell, this wheel is pointing this way, but now I haven't done this one yet. It's still pointing that way, but the camber on this one's been corrected. I don't know, it's so hard to tell, but I feel like it's more straight now. I think it actually corrected a little bit of the toe. Okay, so from the side we haven't done yet, I think that captures it a little bit better now. You can see how straight the fender is, but the wheel is pointing out this way. So I bet when we fix the upper control arm adjustment, it's gonna suck this side in, so it'll actually fix the toe. But let's go ahead and jack it up, take this wheel off, and do what we just did. Alrighty, so again, one bolt here and one bolt right back here. It's kind of hard to get the camera up there, but you'll see them. 2 17 mils, just loosen those up. Alright, here's how it sits right now. Definitely better. You've got probably another 1, maybe 1.5 degrees of camber in the front and the back from doing that adjustment. And by the way, guys, the rear adjustment is just as easy, so just mimic what I did for the front on the back. Not sure what's next for the Prelude today. I do know I want to go get it washed. That way we can see the paint after our yesterday's video, or 2 days ago by the time you're watching this, to see how the paint correction came out with a fresh wash and get the wheels all looking good, see how the new camber looks. I don't know, maybe we'll mess around with the height again today. Maybe because now I've adjusted the camber, when I lower it, the camber's gonna get pulled in even more. So maybe now that it's maxed out on the upper control arms, maybe if I go lower, I will actually clear the fender, because before it was basically just sitting right on the tire, which was no bueno. So let's go first wash up the Prelude and we'll just see where the day takes us. Hope you guys are enjoying it too, because I'm having an awesome time. It's beautiful out. I love working on the Prelude. I love making these videos. It's so much fun, guys. If any of you are out there trying to think about starting up a YouTube channel, just do it, man. Just post a video. You're gonna learn and grow as you do it, but it's so much fun. Yeah, let's go to the car wash. Nice, look how good this paint is now. Look at that bead. That never happened before. We got 0 beading, but now everything's just kind of rolling off the hood. Looking so much better. Yes, looks so good. All right, back home, and this is the first thing I need to fix. So this plate, if you guys watched that video, I actually had to take it off when I took the bumper off to mount all that good stuff on the bottom. So when I put this back on, I don't think I tightened it enough, because every time I go over bumps, it's just like, I gotta tighten those up and maybe find a different washer, but I think just tightening these up should fix that issue. Well, that didn't work at all. Still makes a shit ton of noise. I think I'm just gonna have to go take the whole thing, the whole assembly off, and put like rubber washers, spacers in between each metal bolt, and I think that's how it's gonna be. I don't know why, because before when I did this initially, it worked great, and definitely didn't do that at all. So maybe something just came loose, I don't know, but I'm gonna leave that where it is for now. It's not priority. I'm kinda at a loss of what to do to this car. I know what needs to get done, so like the calipers need to get cleaned off, get all that blue paint that someone sprayed on off, and then I need to paint them. I need to clean up all this trim and paint it, so like including the mirror caps, all of this trim, all of this, all of this, all of this. It's a lot of work. It's mainly time consuming, tedious work, just standing and trying to get as much of the crap off as I can. I guess before I do forget, the whole reason I've been working on the Prelude so much and not the F30 is, 1, I'm waiting on parts for that, and 2, Honda Day is coming up in New Hampshire. This year it's in New Hampshire instead of New Jersey, which is awesome because I couldn't go last year, it was just too far. But this year I have a Prelude, and this year I'm gonna be going to New Hampshire to the Honda Day meet. So that will be the weekend, I'll put a thing right up here, but it's the weekend of the 8th and 9th of June. So if you guys are around in the area, wanna catch up with me, maybe pick up some merch, I'll have it with me, or just to see the Prelude and say what's up, I'll be there. All right, so my neighbor is mowing the lawn, which is fine. I don't really need to have you guys hear me while I'm doing this, but I've got some sandpaper, water, and I'm gonna start by sanding down like these panels, this one, maybe even try and get some of this down here, and see if I can clean this up and get it ready for trim paint. So I guess we'll start there, see how it looks. So after lots of wet sanding, this is how it came out. You can see where the paint was from the last person that tried to correct these. I sanded it down so you can't really feel it, although you can see it. But once we paint over this, I think it will be good. I don't think it will show up, especially if I do a good 3, maybe 4 coats of paint plus 2 coats of primer. So I guess now I'm gonna hop over to the other side and wet sand that, and then they will both be ready for paint. All right, they are ready to go. Ready for paint, finally. That was very tedious just for 2 panels. But I think I've got everything good. I might tape that down just in case. Yeah, maybe tape this down too. Other than that, I'm gonna do the same process as you see me done in the last videos. 2 coats of primer and 3 or 4 coats of the Rust-Oleum trim and bumper paint. If you guys are gonna do this, make sure you get one that is good for plastic as well. So like this one says wood, metal, and plastic. Very important. Coat number 1 on this side doesn't need to be fat, like doesn't need to be a heavy coat, just enough to get like 90% coverage. We'll go over it again. Cool, that one's done. Full coverage of the primer, so this side is ready to go. Show you guys the other side too. A lot of contrast going on here, but this side is completely covered 100%. Definitely wish I used a little bit more of a fine grit after I think I used 100 grit, so that was really harsh for not going over it again, but we'll see. Maybe the layers of paint will hide some of that. Either way, it's gonna look a hell of a lot better than it did before. First layer of color is on. You can definitely tell it's pretty tiger striped going up and down, but that's all right. I'm not looking for a heavy coat first. I'm just gonna lightly cover it within 4 coats. So I'm just gonna wait a couple minutes for these 2 to dry, and then we'll go ahead and throw the second coat on, third coat, and I'll probably catch up with you guys when coat 4 is on. 4 coats of paint, my guys. I'm gonna actually take off all of this plastic while it's still a little wet. That way we don't, you know, let it dry and then tear off the paint that we just painted on. All right, it's probably been about an hour and a half, so let's see how they look. Not too bad. Not bad at all. Pretty much dry to the touch too, so that's pretty much how it's gonna look, and it's the same exact paint that I used for all of this, so it should dry and match up perfectly, but it really does make all the rest of this trim look even worse. Ironically, it's more motivation to get the rest of the trim painted because I've been putting it off. It's such a tedious thing, but now I guess I'm gonna do it. So I'm actually gonna run to Home Depot, pick up some things that I know I need for either upcoming videos. I might try and pick up some rubber gaskets so we can fix that license plate noise thing going on, and then we'll just see what else we can get done today.
A few moments later.
I've been motivated today to get more painting done, so right now I've got the mirror all ready to go to be painted. I've got the plastic wrapped around it, and I went ahead and sanded it, acetone, ready for primer. I'm just crushing it today, trying to get all this trim painted black, because now that I'm like actually doing it, and it's nice to be able to do it in portion so I'm not stuck doing it the whole time, but it makes me realize actually how much plastic is on this car and how much trim needs to be refinished. So work in progress, slowly but surely. All done, my guys. This looks so much better. So today we got these done, the mirrors and the pillars, which I wasn't really planning on doing either, but I'm really glad that we got them done. This mirror was actually in really great condition. I replaced it not that long ago, so it actually looks brand new now that it's painted. And here's the other B pillar. That's how that came out. Wait, check this out too. Ready? No more squeaking. So much better. I just added washers in between each of the nuts and bolts, so now it doesn't make any noise. Thank you guys so much for rocking with me today. I appreciate it. Appreciate you guys watching me build this thing. It's a lot of fun. So hopefully you guys got something out of it. Don't forget to head to the website, check out the merch if you want to support the channel. If not, I appreciate you for just watching these videos. As always, guys, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. See you next time. Peace.